You don't need a luxury kitchen to prepare gourmet meals. I want it a little on the sticky side. With a modest kitchen and some standard equipment, you can cook food that you would be proud to serve. There is my shrimp. All you need is a few helpful kitchen techniques, the ability to follow a recipe, a passion for food, and a fascination with cooking. Just follow along the rib cage. That is so good. My name is Dennis. I really do live in a mobile home, in a trailer park, and this is my kitchen. Tomorrow is the beginning of daylight saving time, and that means spring is only a couple of weeks away, and that means summer is just around the corner. Well, what do you do when you want to get a nice meal onto the table, but you don't want to work in a hot kitchen all day? You set up a little catalog of quick and easy recipes that you can always throw together at the last minute, and then you can get a quick meal on the table. I have some of those set aside, and what I want to do for you today is a very quick recipe. It takes longer to cook the spaghetti than it does to make the sauce. It's really quick. This is a spaghetti with sun-dried tomatoes and olive oil. It's a really good, it's got a lot of flavor to it. That's the best way I can describe it. So let's make this spaghetti with sun-dried tomatoes. I have here 3.5 ounces, which is about 100 grams of sun-dried tomatoes. I like these. They're packed in olive oil and Italian herbs. And all I'm going to do is just shred these. Kind of slice them really fine so they will break up easily. So there are my sun-dried tomatoes. Next, I'm going to start assembling my sauce. I have a skillet heating on the stove here. I'm going to put in several tablespoons there of extra virgin olive oil. And I'm also going to, here's a nice trick for you, I'm going to add some of the oil, the olive oil, from this jar of sun-dried tomatoes because of the herbs in it. As far as how much olive oil, a quarter cup at least, that's 60 milliliters, even more if you like a lot of oil in your pasta. And then as far as garlic, depending upon the size, 3 or 4 cloves of garlic. I have a couple of large cloves here and a couple of small ones. So there's my garlic in the pan. I'm going to turn that heat down to medium low. And then there are my tomatoes going in. Meanwhile, my water is just coming up to the boil for my spaghetti, so I'm going to put my spaghetti in and start that cooking. I have just a little bit more to do here. I'm going to let this cook for about 1 minute. I'm going to add a pinch of salt, not a whole lot, because I'm going to be garnishing with Romano cheese later, and that's kind of salty. I can always adjust for salt at the table. And then I want to grind some freshly ground black pepper in there. My spaghetti went in. That's going to take 11 minutes to cook. That was 1 pound of spaghetti, 454 grams. That's enough to feed 4 to 6 people. I'm turning my heat off on my sauce. That's it. You can see how simple that was. It takes minutes to prepare. I just have to do my garnish next. This is not the time of year, March, to buy good basil. I buy basil at the farmer's market during the summer. They have just delicious basil there, but I went to the store and I didn't care for the basil they had at the store, but the Italian parsley looked decent. So this is a few sprigs of Italian parsley, and I just want to give this a nice chop, fairly fine. I'm going to put some of this in my sauce, and then I'm going to use some for garnish when I plate my spaghetti. So there is my cooked and drained spaghetti. And I'm going to put my olive oil and garlic and sun-dried tomatoes in there. I'm going to add some of my chopped parsley and just start stirring this up to coat this with sauce and oil. I mean, there isn't much sauce there, it's the oil. And now I can plate that. That may not look like it's got much in there, but it's got a lot of flavor. Ready now to plate some of my spaghetti here. I'm going to use a fork to release some of these tomatoes from my tongs. A little bit more. That looks wonderful. All right, and then to garnish that, you can put a little bit of chopped fresh parsley on there. I also have some freshly grated Romano cheese. You can use Parmesan. And there it is. That is a very simple dish. Spaghetti with sun-dried tomatoes. Now let's see how good that tastes. I pretty much know already how good this is going to taste because I've made this before. This to me is such a good pasta dish. I mean, if you really like pasta, and I do, this is a simple, easy dish to make. It may not be easy to pick up with a fork though. Boys and their toys. Oh yeah. That's very nice. Again, the oil, the garlic, the tomatoes, because they have strong, bold flavors, a little goes a long way. That's a very nicely balanced, delicious pasta dish. So excuse me, I'm going to go enjoy my spaghetti with sun-dried tomatoes. For a printable PDF copy of this recipe with step-by-step photographs, visit the White Trash Cooking website and look on the home page or in the recipe archive.